In this battle I'm using a faction that I'm liking more and more, Cimmeria, and I'm going to use it against Parthia because I think they can match and counter Parthia in some very important categories. As you can see, I have went for a fairly infantry heavy build with strong skirmishing support. So I have 13 hoplites, 12 good hoplites and 1 crap hoplite. So I have a lot of units for the cataphracts to cycle charge on and a lot of units for Parthia to waste their missiles on. I only brought 3 cavalry units and 4 foot skirmishers, because the foot skirmishers of Cimmeria are going to be able to defeat the foot skirmishers of Parthia fairly comfortably due to them having the 35 armor. So 6 Scythian hoplites, 6 hoplites, 2 noble horse archers, 1 citizen cavalry speed bump, 1 militia hoplite speed bump, 4 Cimmeria heavy archers, and I'm up against a fairly strong Parthian build with 5 eastern cataphracts, 1 royal cataphract, 4 Persian light archers. Let's see here, we have 3 Persian hoplites, 3 mercenary hoplites and 1 eastern spear. So the killing power in this army is depending on the factions it's facing. These guys can get a lot of kills if they survive the skirmishing phase. And then we of course have the super heavy eastern cataphracts that are able to demolish infantry lines. And having hoplites is going to help somewhat, but these guys are going to be able to demolish hoplites on the charge, even if they are braced. So cycle charging with these guys is going to be pretty traumatic to most infantry units. And that's why I brought so many of them, so I have units to soak up the charges and counter charge and so on. I'm going to push my armored horse archers off to the side. Now he has a choice. He can either take it with his cataphracts, or he can engage with his Persian light archers. But if he engages with his Persian light archers, that means I'll be able to use my Cimmeria heavy archers on the post here. If he doesn't, that means heavy shot all day on his eastern cataphracts, which of course is disastrous for him. So, although he hasn't really lost any cataphracts yet, this is going to take down their hit points to a significant degree with the armor piercing shots. So he doesn't want to have this happen for too long, and now he's going to move his Persian light archers over there to fend my noble horse archers away. And I could take this engagement and probably win it by going in and out with my armored horse archers, get shots off and withdraw, but I don't really need to use that tactic. I want to save my noble horse archer ammo for the late game, if there are any cataphract units left that I need to snipe. So I'm moving up my infantry very slowly, and for those of you who have been commenting that you think that I use too many rush armies, not enough skirmishing, not a long enough skirmish phase, this battle here is for you, because this battle is the polar opposite almost of just pure infantry rush. There is a lot of infantry, but there are also skirmishers that are vital to the result of this battle. So using my foot archers, my horse archers, just to pull away his foot archers here, that's going to allow me to move up my lines unopposed by archers. So he's moving his cavalry over to the side, presumably to keep my cavalry away there, so I'm going to withdraw for a bit. Then I'm going to move up my foot archers. I'm not really too worried about this infantry, because my hoplites are going to be able to defeat his infantry line, but I need to be aware of rear charges coming in. That's why I have the Scythian hoplites in the second line, because they have a higher bonus against large than the standard hoplites. And that's going to make it much more difficult to rear charge my lines if I have this second unit in support. And here the skirmishing starts. I am going to get the first volleys off, which is going to be important against these Persian light archers. They're going to start dropping quickly to my fire. I have 40 missile damage, these guys have 35, and my armor is going to save me to a significant degree. You'll notice that I don't focus fire here. I fire at 2 separate units while he is focusing fire, so that's why these guys are dropping so quickly. But as you can see, by doing this, I'm able to destroy his Persian light archers pretty quickly here. They're going down, 2 units are down already, and I have not lost even half my Cimmeria heavy archer unit. So in some cases it's a good idea to focus fire on 2 targets instead of 1, if they are lightly armored and there are a few of them. Because with 40 missile damage and against 10 armor, these guys are going to die anyway. So moving the guys in to get some more shots off. I need to be aware of these cataphracts here, because they are in range of my... actually, I missed some action here, because what happened was I was so focused on the skirmishing. He pushed his eastern cataphracts up, but then I put my militia hoplites in phalanx, and they were able to stop the charge. Just work as a nice speed bump. His skirmishing is not going well for him. I'm just going to pull away so the cataphracts aren't able to punch through and get at my archers. Moving my armored horse archers around the flanks to try to pull off some fire from these Persian light archers. And I'm feeling fairly confident about my chances with the infantry and the skirmishers here, that I'll be able to grind it out with the cataphracts and his hoplites. So I'm going to start focusing fire on his cataphracts, and although I'm not using heavy shot, I don't even have heavy shot on these guys, then they're going to start dropping because they don't have shields, and that means that they're going to... every arrow that hits is basically going to do at least 4 damage to them. So, although cataphracts have good armor, their lack of shields really hurt them against skirmishers. So, armored horse archers not really taking casualties yet. I'm peeling off my Scythian hoplites to take care of his Persian light archers. I don't really know what the plan was here, if he had attack orders on my skirmishers or what. Attacking all across the line, he doesn't get a charge, I get a charge. That's going to be pretty important. And over here I'm bringing my citizen cavalry in to try to stop his eastern cataphracts from just pulling out and going for my skirmishers. Using these guys to move over against his eastern cataphracts. And now his skirmishers are off the field. His cataphracts are taking damage all over the place. These cataphracts get a decent charge, but I'm using phalanx so they aren't able to flatten them completely. And then I'm counter-charging with my citizen cavalry, which is going to make these guys stuck at least a little bit. But still, they are going to be able to make it through, but not without taking at least a few losses. So I'm moving up my reserves here to try and stop the eastern cataphracts completely, while I'm using my my skirmishers to also pour fire into them. And I don't really care about friendly fire here, because it's much more important for me to kill this unit than to keep these guys alive. Over here doing the same, rushing in, stopping them, popping phalanx. I'm getting rear charged here on my hoplites, but it wasn't the best charge. And just pouring fire into his general with my Cimmeria heavy archers. These guys are very, very useful units to have. And the infantry fight is going in my favor here. My militia hoplites are even getting some kills. The royal cataphracts are dropping without getting a huge amount of kills, and I'm able to use my superior number of troops to stop his cataphracts and to do damage. And this is what I wanted to save my armored horse archers for. Heavy shot on the eastern cataphracts. Eastern cataphracts losing over here without doing much. I was able to peel off an infantry unit and go for his eastern cataphracts over here. So in order to use an army like this, the Parthian army, effectively, you have to be on point with your cycle charging, and that can be very, very difficult to do. I find it hard to do myself, because bringing a lot of shock cavalry can give you a massive advantage in the cavalry department, and also give you a massive advantage against infantry, but it's very difficult to use, and it's much more easy to just give attack orders with infantry and watch them grind it out than it is to cycle charge effectively with shock cavalry. But here you can see the effect of cycle charging. He's going to get a massive kill streak going by just charging these militia hoplites in the rear, which is going to allow him to win in the center, but he isn't able to capitalize on it because he's surrounded on all sides. The eastern cataphracts are being destroyed before they get in position to rear charge, being chewed up by Scythian hoplites. And when his cavalry is dealt with, he's basically dead, because there's no way his hoplites are going to be able to stand up to what I have left. So his general is going down. Now I can fire at his mercenary hoplites unopposed. He's starting to waver because he's losing the battle. And that's it basically. So having the second line of defense against Parthia, pretty effective here. I would have liked to see what would happen if he had just charged YOLO style straight into my first line of hoplites and kept doing it, because I wouldn't have had the time to support the fights with my second line. And if he just YOLO charged and then went around and then attacked with his infantry, I think he could have made something work here. But it can be very daunting to take on 13 spears when you have 6 cavalry units. You don't want them to be ground down in a prolonged engagement. So very difficult army to use, I think, the army that my opponent brought. And the army that I brought but is definitely easier to use and can be a nice counter to many Parthian armies. So there we have it. Parthia lost quite a lot of men. Cimmeria didn't really lose a lot of men, and now you can see both the foot skirmishers and the infantry was completely outclassed, while the cavalry wasn't really able to do much. Some nice kills on the Cimmeria heavy archers. Some of these kills are a bit low because they were against Eastern cataphracts and such, but overall a decent build to bring against Parthia, I think. But it can absolutely be countered, and can be countered by cataphracts, cataphract swords, and I wouldn't bring many foot skirmishers, to be honest, against Cimmeria, because Cimmeria is just going to be able to foot skirmish a lot more effectively than you are. But Cimmeria doesn't have any really good cavalry, so you will be able to, as Parthia, you will be able to get the cavalry advantage with your cataphracts and your noble bloods. So I think that's the way to go: cycle charging, cavalry, and then supporting the infantry well with your cavalry when the enemy cavalry is gone. I think is the way to go against Cimmeria. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again on the battlefield.